Hello, my name is Hydroflock, and I hate anime. Anime is a genre that I've always wanted to get into, but couldn't really. Like, I've tried plenty of anime, okay? It's a genre that I'm familiar with, but you know, I always find myself slogging through it and just not having a good time, and then I realize this and I just do something else. There's about like 5 anime that I actually like fully been enthralled in and enjoyed. Stuff like Kill La Kill, One Punch Man, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Death Note. But I don't really need to say anything about Death Note. Everyone knows how good Death Note is. Your grandma's probably sat at home rewatching Death Note for the 5th time this week. It's pretty rare that I ever like get fully invested or finish an anime. There was a couple that my friends suggested to me. No Game, No Life. It was alright. I was able to finish that one, but I'll be honest, I was kind of counting down the episodes to when it ended. Also, I mean, no shade towards this friend. I mean, like, you enjoy what you want, buddy, just not my thing. Also, no shame towards anyone that enjoys No Game, No Life or Your Lie in April. I fucking hate Your Lie in April. I could barely make it into the 3rd episode before I was like, this is not enjoyable to watch for me. It's just depressing. For the sake of being depressing. Now, I've also noticed an unfortunate trend in anime where most modern-day popular anime has a protagonist that is either so pure of heart that their personalities are more akin to a straight line than an actual human being, or the protagonist is some fucking loser with the social skills of a paperclip. Because, you know, we gotta relate to the main audience of these shows being roped into adventures with these hot-ass anime girls. I am tired of these, Nani? As protagonists. I do not find them fun to watch. I do not find them interesting to watch. They are so boring it hurts. Now, recently, and by recently I mean not even 2 days ago, I finished something absolutely amazing. Space Dandy. Now, I discovered Space Dandy from watching some guy called Westside Live. He's a channel that basically just does variety content, but also, like, makes a lot of videos joking about the porn industry. It's a little weird, I know. Yeah, but he's a very fun and lively guy. So I was just watching one of his videos, and, you know, it was the end. The outro was about to play, so I was getting ready to click off and everything, because that's normally what you do at the end, when suddenly... Holy shit. Are those titties? Okay, Mr. Westside Line, you have my full attention now. And suddenly, I get hit by one of the most bopping choruses I have ever heard. That song is called Viva Namida, and it is the main theme of Space Dandy, and one of my favorite songs. That song is the product of you taking the feeling of an orgasm and putting it into the form of sound. That shit slaps harder than my dad. It's safe to say after listening to that I was fully interested and invested in Space Dandy, despite never having watched a single second of it. But I unfortunately wouldn't be able to watch it for another couple of months, because the greedy-ass company known as Funimation has made it really fucking hard to find this show. If you're an American like me, there's about like 4 legal ways you could watch it. There's the DVD box set, which is your traditional overpriced anime DVD box set. You could buy it off Prime Video. Yeah. You could also find it on Hulu, but only the sub version. There's no dubbed version on Hulu for some god-awful reason. And you can also find the show on Funimation's own, like, streaming app, which I'd be fine with watching it there, to be honest. I mean, like, they let you watch shows there free with ads, but for some reason, they only made it available to premium customers. They put a paywall on an obscure show that very few people know about. They're hurting the relevancy of a show that's already obscure as hell. What are you trying to accomplish here? Now, about a week ago, my parents decided they wanted to watch Nomadland, which is a movie that's still in theaters, but, you know, since theaters have not been a thing since the whole Rapture began, movies have been relegated to appearing as streaming service exclusives while they're in theaters. So my parents got a Hulu account. Nomadland is cool. As soon as I saw we had a Hulu, I popped that shit as fast as I could. Hey, so I'm recording this video in multiple takes, and I seem to have lost the bow, so fucking kill me. What does my life come to? So after finishing Space Dandy, I was not disappointed in the slightest, okay? This show has everything. It's got interesting, wacky, over-the-top characters, some very fluid and lively animation, actual fucking humor, music that I swear was composed and recorded by the gods, and titties. Lots of titties. To be fair, that's most because the main character is one hell of a pervert. Space Dandy is a show about a man named Dandy, who's an alien hunter, which is basically where he goes around the universe searching for rare aliens and registering them for a reward. He's also got a crew of a weird space cat alien thing, actually looks more like a sea otter to be honest, and a sentient robot vacuum cleaner named QT, who serves as like the only voice of reason within the group. Now Dandy is shown to be a very unlikable person. He's very selfish and perverted and, yeah, only really looks out for himself, no one else. He's shown to have flaws, lots of them. He's a very flawed individual. And you know, this is how he's portrayed in like the first few episodes. This is really all we see of him. However, as the series goes on, we see many layers to him. He actually opens up to people and shows some compassion. This is what we call a good character. A character that's written like an actual fucking human being. He's not painted as some hero or some shy person with good intentions. No! He's shown as some fucking pompous asshole. My man has actual personality. He actually like is more than just, oh, I'm a good guy, I'm the main character. I'm good! Dandy has an actual personality. And this makes him one of the most relatable anime characters I have ever seen. Not only is he shown to be a caring, good individual at times, but he's also got flaws. And I feel like that's the most important part of a character right there. Flaws. And that's something most anime in general just doesn't explore. But it's not just Dandy who's written nicely. This extends to the entire show. Now, the way the show is formatted, each episode is split into like its own story, where literally anything could happen. If you don't believe me, go ahead and watch the first episode. If you don't have access to it, I'll link it either down in the description or in the iCard. Come back here when you finish that, I guess. If you're here, I am assuming that A, you either already watched the first episode, B, you watched the last scene, or C, you don't give a shit, and I don't either, so let's move on. So you may have noticed something funny, like the fact that all the main characters just literally died. It's not just some, oh, they somehow survived, oh, wow. Or like it's Dragon Ball Z where they could just get into Dragon Balls and wish them back or something. No. These characters have been eradicated. They are gone. And then the next episode just carries on like nothing happened. This is how the entire show is written. The events of one don't typically bleed into another. Now this allows the writers to get really creative with how they write episodes. Typically each episode has a different sort of set of ideas and themes that it explores. It has like whole characters that are relegated to just that episode. There are plenty of characters you meet throughout the show that you just never see again. And as the series goes, you get to miss each of these characters. Like, you just wish for some of them to come back. The writers somehow build whole characters within the span of like 24 minutes. The character writing and building in this show is top tier. Now, a big problem in anime for me is the humor. I don't know if you've noticed this, but anime humor is dog shit. Anime humor tends to consist of, oh, wacky things happen, funny face. Oh, look at how funnily that face is drawn. You're supposed to laugh. Why aren't you laughing? Laugh. Oh, something happens to character by another character. Whoa, beat up on the character. Whoa. I see you let out an exhale of air from your nostrils. One of my least favorite tropes in anime is the hot spring gag. You know what I'm talking about. Where the group of main characters are at a hot spring and the boys are peeping in at the girls while they're doing their thing. And then they get caught and then the girls beat up on them. Oh, that's real funny, bud. Now Space Dandy has actual fucking humor. They actually tell jokes and have some sort of comedic timing to them.
No data available. Do you think they could be an undiscovered alien species, Dandy?
Wait, your name's Dandy? Yeah, and don't you forget it. D-A-N-D-Y. Dandy. What a small world. My name is also D-N-A. It's Dandy.
Now, one of the best parts of the show is the animation. You know how you're like watching some sort of anime and like a really cool fight scene comes and it's like super crazy and action-packed? Yeah, imagine that, but it's the entire show. I cannot think of a single scene that looks bad. A single frame that looks bad. The entire show just... It's so fucking good. How is the animation so fucking... How did they do it? How did they make the animation so good? The music also complements the show perfectly. They can set up like any tone they want with the music. It's just that good. Hell, for the entirety of this video, I've pretty much been playing Space Dandy music in the background. Not to mention, it just sounds good. It's just good music. I realize that's a really subjective thing for me to say. In fact, so is most of this video, but still. And there's something for everyone really in the soundtrack. The music is just as wild and diverse as the show is itself. With how amazingly crafted the show is, it's a wonder why it isn't more popular. Like, this show is obscure and I don't know why. And it's honestly depressing to like see all these cookie cutter shows come out nowadays that just reach like classic status within like a month. And then to just see something like Space Dandy get tossed under the bus. This show is criminally underrated, and I encourage you to watch it. It deserves so much more praise and attention than it is getting, and it's sad. It's really sad. But yeah, point of the video: go watch Space Dandy, or I'll kill your newborn.